Wow, so just a little under 2 days after the Manchester derby, Marcus Rashford has come out in a shock interview confirming his time at Manchester United is up. This comes as a shock as many have been speculating whether the dropping was the beginning of the end for Rashford, and it appears he's had enough. Ironically, this interview has taken place just over 2 years after the infamous sit-down Cristiano Ronaldo had with Piers Morgan, where he put himself in the shop window, and it appears Rashford is now following suit, but in a somewhat more tasteful way. Henry Winter was the journalist to break the story. Rashford on rumours of a lack of professionalism. I do feel misunderstood, but I'm fine with it. I'm a very simple person. I love football. That's been my life from the beginning. I don't want to sound too cynical here, but he kind of swerved the question. We all know that you love football, Rashford, or you should. You're getting paid very handsomely for it, and you do it day in and day out. The question was more centred around your lack of professionalism, and you haven't really explored that. If he had nothing to hide when it comes to his professionalism, he could have just simply said, ask any of my teammates and they'll tell you how professional I am, or made some other point to show that he's a top professional, but instead he feels the need to reinstate his love for football. He should be showing, but instead he's telling. The question I would pose to him after hearing this is, if you love football, why did you feel the need to travel to America and watch an NBA game when you knew that your new manager was going to arrive at the club in the coming days? Did you not want to make the best impression possible? I'm just playing Red Devil's advocate here. Rashford on being dropped for the Manchester derby. It's disheartening to be left out of a derby, but it's happened. We won the game, so let's move on. It's disappointing, but I'm also someone, as I've got older, I can deal with setbacks. What am I going to do about it? Sit there and cry about it, or do my best the next time I'm available? Marcus is using words like disheartening and disappointing, but ironically, he doesn't seem to understand that you reap what you sow, because I'm going to be perfectly honest, that's how United fans would describe his performances over the last 2 years. Disheartening and disappointing. This is where the real issue lies with Rashford in my mind. He's being given an opportunity to be self-critical here, and he's not taking it. An opportunity to come out with something like, I know I can get more out of myself, and I'll do everything in my power to do so. I'm disappointed with myself, but he opted not to do this. Instead saying, as I've got older, I can deal with setbacks. What am I going to do about it? Sit there and cry, or do my best next time I'm available? Again, playing Red Devil's advocate here, but what do you think you're doing in this interview, Marcus? Although you may not be shedding any actual tears, you've sat down with a journalist to let everyone know how upset you are. That's how people in the public eye sit there and cry about it. Rashford on leaving Manchester United. Personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps. When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. You're not going to have any negative comments from me about Manchester United. That's me as a person. And this is the big one. Marcus Rashford confirms he's ready to leave Manchester United and face a new challenge. In his own words, Rashford is ready to leave Manchester United. He does say that there'll be no hard feelings. Now, obviously, we don't know behind the scenes what's happened with Rashford at United, but from the outside looking in, I don't see why there would be hard feelings. The player has been given multiple opportunities to show what he's about throughout his career at the club. Even in the past 2 years, where he's looked like a shadow of his former self, he's been given ample time to turn the tide, but he hasn't taken it. One thing that is admirable about this statement is that he says you're not going to have any negative comments from him about Manchester United, but once again, it's his boyhood club. I wouldn't expect as much from an organisation that's done so much for him. Rashford on other players leaving Manchester United. If I know that a situation is already bad, I'm not going to make it worse. I've seen how other players have left in the past, and I don't want to be that person. When I leave, I'll make a statement, and it will be from me. Nothing wrong with what Rashford is saying here. He's seen how other players have left the club in toxic ways, and he doesn't want to do that. You can tell he's still obviously very loyal to United. However, the counter argument to this would be, by participating in this interview, have you not done Manchester United over a bit here? Other clubs now know that you want to leave. They also know we want to get rid of you, meaning they arguably can offer less money now because they know you're desperate to leave. It has come out as well that Manchester United do not want to comment on whether they knew in advance about Marcus Rashford's interview and statements, nor what they think about the timing. Ruben Amorim is set to host a press conference at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and so many think Amorim will discuss Rashford's departure here. Rashford on his future. I'm halfway through my career. I don't expect my peak to be now. I've had 9 years so far in the Premier League, and that's taught me a lot. That's helped me grow as a player and as a person. So I don't have any regrets from the last 9 years. I won't have any regrets going forward because I take things day by day, and sometimes bad things happen. Sometimes good things happen. I just try and keep a fine balance. Again, nothing to complain about here from Marcus. He's clearly trying to put his front foot forward and tell the story that he's a well-adjusted young man midway through through his career, looking for a new club to take himself to the next level. But if you have seen my previous video, Man United must sell Marcus Rashford, you'll know that Rashford isn't halfway through his career. He's played as many games as Rooney did when he started to witness his decline, and given Rooney had bags of talent over Rashford, I doubt Marcus's career is going to have a revival at this point. Rashford on if the best is yet to come, 100%, that's my mentality. I don't want to sound like a hater, but I just really doubt this. Rashford on returning to the England side, that still excites me. It's playing for your country in the biggest competition in the world. I've had the chance to do it before and it's an unbelievable experience. If I got the opportunity again, I'll try and grab it with both hands. When we look back on Marcus Rashford's career, we are going to say those seasons where he completely fell off did cost him his legacy as an English Premier League and Manchester United great. This quote really does stink of a player who knows that he may very well be past it. Even the language he's using, if I got the opportunity again. Believe in yourself, Marcus. You should be saying things like, when I get the opportunity again. It's all very hopeful. I don't see a clear plan in his mind of how he's going to achieve these goals, and that's what really makes me believe that this may be the end of Marcus Rashford at any kind of top level football. Rashford on Amorim's new system and his adaptability. I have traits to play in all three positions. Some positions are more natural to me. Some positions I have to train more and do a bit more tactical work. The left side suits me the best. The left 10 still suits me, but you have to adapt your game. The biggest skill set is adaptability. People might not see it, but eventually they'll see I've played in different positions under all the managers. Rashford confirmed once again that he prefers the left-hand side of the pitch. I remember having debates all the time with people on Instagram where Rashford's preferred position was, but it was so clearly on the left-hand side. He makes an interesting point here by saying that people might not see it, but eventually they'll see I've played in plenty of different positions under all managers. And again, although there's nothing wrong with his statement, everyone will agree he has played in different positions. The key detail is missing out is how effective he's been in these positions. That's the difference between a player that is truly adaptable and a player who is just filling in. Although the same waves haven't been created here that were created when Cristiano left the club for the second time, there is definitely going to be backlash to this interview, and it puts Amorim in a very precarious position. Do you remove Rashford from the squad? Do you keep him in and make the most of him while he's here? Will Rashford actually perform now he knows that his time at United is limited? We'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you make of this Marcus Rashford interview in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and subscribe for more honestly biased sports content. Godspeed.